Did you know that right now, trillions of tiny creatures living in your gut are literally controlling your thoughts, your mood, and even your memories? I'm not talking about some science fiction body horror scenario. I'm talking about actual, real microbes that are influencing your brain chemistry every single second of every single day. And here's the wildest part. You're not even aware it's happening. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into one of the most mind-blowing discoveries in modern neuroscience, the gut-brain connection. And trust me, by the end of this video, you'll never think about your stomach the same way again. So let's start with a simple question. Have you ever felt butterflies in your stomach when you're nervous? Or maybe you've noticed that when you're stressed, your digestion goes completely haywire. That's not a coincidence. Your gut and your brain are in constant communication, like two best friends texting back and forth every second of the day. Scientists have actually started calling the gut your second brain, and that's not just a catchy phrase. Your gut contains about 100 million neurons. That's more neurons than in your spinal cord. And these neurons are constantly sending signals to your brain, telling it what's going on down there. But here's where it gets really interesting. Your gut isn't just full of neurons. It's also home to somewhere between 30 and 40 trillion microorganisms. That's bacteria, viruses, fungi, all kinds of microscopic life forms living inside you. And these little guys, they're not just passive passengers. They're actively producing chemicals that affect how you think and feel. Now, if you're curious about this stuff and want to explore more about how your body works, I've put together something pretty cool. Check the description below to download our free ebook. It's got 50 DIY science experiments and fascinating facts about gut health, brain chemistry, and microbiology. You can literally try some of these experiments at home to see this science in action. All right, links in the description. Let's keep going. So how exactly do these microscopic creatures communicate with your brain? It's not like they have tiny cell phones or anything. Well, they use three main highways of communication, and each one is absolutely fascinating. First up, there's the vagus nerve. Think of this as the information superhighway connecting your gut to your brain. It's the longest nerve in your body, running from your brainstem all the way down to your abdomen, and it's a two-way street. Your brain sends signals down to your gut, and your gut sends signals right back up. Studies have shown that when researchers cut the vagus nerve in mice, the gut microbes lost a lot of their influence over the brain. That's how critical this connection is. The second highway is through your immune system. About 70 to 80% of your immune cells actually live in your gut. Your gut microbes are constantly interacting with these immune cells. And when they do, they trigger the release of molecules called cytokines. These cytokines travel through your bloodstream and can cross into your brain, where they affect things like inflammation and mood. But here's the really wild part. The third highway. Your gut microbes are little chemical factories. They produce neurotransmitters, yes, the same chemicals your brain uses to regulate mood, memory, and behavior. We're talking about serotonin, dopamine, GABA, all the big players. Get this, about 90% of your body's serotonin, that's the happy chemical, is actually produced in your gut, not your brain. Your gut microbes help regulate this production. So when people talk about having a gut feeling or trusting your gut instinct, there's actually a biochemical basis for that. Your gut is literally producing the chemicals that influence how you feel. All right, now let's get into some absolutely mind-blowing research that shows just how powerful this gut-brain connection really is. Fact number 1. Scientists did an experiment where they took the gut microbes from depressed humans and transplanted them into rats. And guess what? The rats started showing symptoms of depression. They became less active, less interested in things they normally enjoyed. Classic signs of depression. But here's the kicker. When they transplanted microbes from healthy, happy people into rats, those rats stayed energetic and engaged. Same rats, different microbes, completely different behavior. That's how directly your gut microbes can influence your mental state. Fact number 2. There's a specific strain of bacteria called Lactobacillus rhamnosus, which researchers have nicknamed the calm bacteria. In studies, when mice were given this bacteria, they showed significantly less anxiety and lower levels of the stress hormone cortisone. When scientists gave mice a drug that enhanced GABA, the calming neurotransmitter in the brain, it had a similar effect. So essentially, this one type of gut bacteria was acting like a natural anxiety medication. Now, human studies are still in early stages, but the implications are huge. Fact number 3. Your diet can completely reshape your gut microbiome in as little as 24 hours. Researchers did a study where they put people on dramatically different diets. One group eating lots of meat and cheese, another eating lots of plants and fiber. Within just one day, the composition of bacteria in their guts started to change. And within 3 to 4 days, it was dramatically different. That means the food you ate yesterday is literally influencing your brain chemistry today. It's like you're constantly writing the recipe for your own mental state with every meal. So, why should you care about all this? Why does it matter that your gut microbes are influencing your brain? Well, for starters, it completely changes how we think about mental health. For decades, we've treated the brain as this isolated organ floating in your skull. If you had depression or anxiety, we focused entirely on what was happening up there in your head. But now, we're realizing that your mental health is intimately connected to your gut health. This opens up entirely new ways to support your mental well-being, instead of just medication or therapy, which are absolutely valuable and important. We can also think about nutrition, probiotics, lifestyle factors that influence gut health. It's not about replacing traditional treatments. It's about adding more tools to the toolbox. Second, this research empowers you. You're not helpless when it comes to your mental state. Every time you eat, you're influencing the trillions of microbes in your gut, and through them, you're influencing your brain chemistry. That's pretty incredible when you think about it. You have some degree of control over your own neurotransmitter production just by choosing what goes on your plate. And third, it highlights how interconnected our bodies really are. We like to think of ourselves as having separate systems. There's your digestive system over here, your nervous system over there, your immune system doing its own thing. But in reality, everything is talking to everything else. Your gut microbes are in conversation with your immune cells, which are talking to your neurons, which are sending signals to your brain. It's all one integrated system. So what can you actually do with this information? How can you support your gut microbiome and, by extension, your brain? First, eat more fiber. Your beneficial gut bacteria love fiber. They feed on it and produce short-chain fatty acids that have anti-inflammatory effects and support brain health. Think vegetables, fruits, whole grains, legumes. The more variety, the better. Second, consider adding fermented foods to your diet. Things like yogurt with live cultures kefir, sauerkraut, kimchi, kombucha. These foods contain live bacteria that can add to the diversity of your gut microbiome. Third, be mindful of antibiotics. Yes, sometimes they're absolutely necessary and life-saving, but they're like dropping a bomb on your gut microbiome. They kill the bad bacteria, but they also wipe out a lot of the good ones. If you need antibiotics, talk to your doctor about taking probiotics afterward to help restore your gut health. Fourth, manage stress. Chronic stress doesn't just affect your brain directly, it also changes your gut microbiome composition, often in ways that aren't helpful. Practices like meditation, exercise, and adequate sleep all support both your brain and your gut. And fifth, just pay attention. Notice how different foods make you feel, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally. You might start to see patterns. Maybe you feel more anxious after eating certain things. Maybe you feel clearer and more focused after others. Your body is giving you feedback all the time. You just have to listen. All right, let's wrap this up. We've covered a lot of ground today, but here's the core message. Your gut is not just a digestive organ. It's a sophisticated ecosystem hosting trillions of microorganisms that are constantly communicating with your brain through the vagus nerve, your immune system, and by producing neurotransmitters directly. These tiny microbes influence your mood, your anxiety levels, your memory, even your behavior. And the composition of your gut microbiome can change based on what you eat, how stressed you are, and your lifestyle choices. That means you have more power over your mental state than you might have realized. The gut-brain connection is one of the most exciting frontiers in neuroscience right now. Every month, new studies come out showing just how deep this connection goes. And as we learn more, we're discovering new ways to support both our gut health and our mental health at the same time. So the next time someone tells you to trust your gut, remember that your gut is literally producing the chemicals that help you make that decision. Those trillions of microbes aren't just along for the ride. They're active participants in who you are and how you experience the world. Pretty wild, right? If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more science content that'll make you see your body in a whole new way. And don't forget to check out that ebook in the description for experiments you can try yourself. Drop a comment below and let me know, have you noticed any connections between what you eat and how you feel mentally? I'd love to hear your experiences. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, take care of those microbes, because they're taking care of you.